So for the past few decades, the Teamsters Union has always been an integral part of a presidential election. Their endorsement of a presidential candidate holds heavy weight. And for the past few decades, the Teamsters have always endorsed the Democratic candidate. Why? Because the Democrats are the party that supports and uplifts unions in this country. But now that this country is sick with Trumpism and MAGA nuts, that has changed this presidential election. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, Tabitha Speaks Politics. I am your host, Tabitha, and baby, for the rest of the afternoon, we are working from the bed. Doing that last video, rest in peace, Amber Nicole Thurman. Doing that last video, it put me in a headspace. That's why you guys don't hear me doing certain videos like mass shootings or when the police have taken out a person of color or black men. Those types of videos put me in a different headspace. And so, yeah, doing that story about Amber Thurman this morning, it has brought my mood way down. But it was so important for me to let you all know about this story because mainstream media, I'm not sure if they're talking about this story. Amber Thurman, her name should be trending over on Twitter, and it's not. So that tells me that a lot of people, not enough people, are talking about that young woman's story. May she rest in peace. To find out what's going on in regards to Amber Thurman, you can check out the video right before this one. Let's continue on with our conversation regarding the Teamsters Union. All week, people have been on pins and needles wondering who the Teamsters was going to endorse. Why, I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. But after doing some research, I understand why people are like, well, who are they going to endorse? It's because the president of the Teamsters, Sean O'Brien, he recently spoke at the Republican National Convention. I don't know if that's the norm. Does the president of the Teamsters typically speak at the Republican National Convention? I've always seen them at the Democrat National Convention. I don't remember seeing them at the Republican National Convention. But anyway, in my mind, I'm thinking that's why people are like on pins and needles, because I normally associate the Teamsters with the Democrats because they go hand in hand. Well, we don't have to wait anymore. On yesterday, Sean O'Brien came out and said that the Teamsters will not endorse Kamala Harris or Donald Trump for president. And the president of the Teamsters, Sean O'Brien, is citing internal polling numbers. And so you know what I had to do? I had to go figure out what these internal polling numbers were. So this is what I saw out there on the internet. These are allegedly the internal polling numbers. Okay? You see internal polling numbers from when Biden was running for president, and you see the internal polling numbers now that Kamala Harris is the presidential candidate for the Democrats. And based on these polling numbers, Trump is winning by a landslide. Now, I got this directly from the Teamsters Twitter account. So this is what he's citing when he says internal polling numbers. But yet, they don't tell us what went into these polling numbers. Who did you poll? How many people that are union members with the Teamsters, how many people were polled? There are hundreds of thousands of Teamsters union members. So how many people did you poll? What areas did you poll? What states? Battleground states, Republican states, Democrat states? What went into making up these numbers in this poll? He doesn't tell us that. Now, those polling numbers look suspicious to me, or it looks like they're trying to manipulate the majority with those polling numbers. If the Teamsters have 500,000 members and you only polled 1,000 members, that's a manipulation tactic. You get what I'm saying? So him not telling us what went into those polling numbers, I call bullshit. Furthermore, Mr. President Sean O'Brien seems to have stepped in some real serious doo-doo. Because after he chose to come out and not endorse anyone, each regional Teamsters chapter decided to come out and endorse a candidate. Teamsters Joint Council 32 representing Minnesota, Iowa, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Wisconsin, they have come out to endorse Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. California Teamsters, 250,000 members strong. And California Teamsters represents Joint Councils 7 and 42. Teamster members from 34 local unions across California. They are coming out to endorse Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. This is the state of Michigan. It's probably cut off at the top. But the state of Michigan, 245,000 active team members have come out to endorse Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Teamsters Joint Council 39. It doesn't say how many members are in this joint council, but they have come out to endorse Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. 300,000 Teamsters across California. Now this includes California, Nevada, Hawaii, and Guam. They are endorsing Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Western Pennsylvania, 35,000 members strong across Pennsylvania. They have come out to endorse Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. And there's so many more who have broken from the national organization to say, I don't know what you got going on, but we are supporting Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. And you know without a doubt that the Teamsters Black Caucus completely defied national leadership, and they are endorsing and supporting Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. The Teamsters of the Black Caucus put out a statement, and in that statement he said, quote, I'm not going to harp on the disappointment that my national leadership did not have the courage or the fortitude to stand up to this bully and to be able to go out and tell our entire membership this is the best thing for you as members, end quote. Anywho, this is the national president of the Teamsters Union. His name is Sean O'Brien. And the word on the curb, the rumor is out there in the political streets, is that he is trying to become the labor secretary. And I'm guessing some deals were made behind closed doors between him and Trump, being that he was a speaker at the RNC. Yeah, he sees his dream coming to fruition by way of Trump. And so he sold out all of those that he was put into office to represent.